Hello. Okay, so what I am doing today is a little bit of everything actually. I went to the grocery store yesterday and it's absolutely crazy. We needed just some meat for the freezer and a couple other things. We, I had to go to the pharmacy and there's no soup. There was almost no meat in the meat department. There's no toilet paper, paper towels, although I already stocked up on that stuff 3 weeks ago. And then, let's see, what else was there? Oh, God, toilet bowl cleaner, uh, any type of other cleaners. I mean, people are absolutely a little overboard, I think, because literally I found a can of cream of mushroom soup and I started laughing. I picked it up because I thought, we might make something and we might need it. So I just went ahead and grabbed it. But it was more just because the husband looked at me silly because there was like one piece of canned item in my grocery bag. So, and then it was more like, oh, we might need it. You never know. So, anyway, I am out here today. The husky's over here enjoying the day. I've got her on a little tie out. That way, if she sees something, she doesn't take off and be 12 miles away. And I am sanding a toolbox. I did a video. I haven't actually posted it yet because I was going to attach it to the beginning and the end of what I'm actually doing as far as a project. But then I was out here today and I thought, I'll just talk to you guys, tell you what I'm up to and what I did yesterday. It took me forever to go through the grocery store. So, what I'm doing today is I've got my sander out here and I'm working on a toolbox. So, and I'll show you the hot mess, but I'm kind of embarrassed to show you guys. So, I have a tool bag and then I bought a toolbox. And shocking, they're both pink, but they're both full, relatively full. The bag is full. And then the toolbox, you can't find anything. Like, you're always digging and shit winds up on top. I mean, stuff winds up on top and it's crazy. So I might have to go back and blur that out. I don't know. I guess I'll have to read what Facebook says about, or and YouTube says about cussing. So I anyway, I did all that. I went to the pharmacy, I did the grocery store, I came back, and then today, it's not warm enough to paint today, but I just decided, I'm just going to knock this out. I started to primer and paint. Ed had taken a grinder with a sanding wheel on it and had grinded the toolbox, and I'll show you what he did. But then when I started to prime all of my drawers that go into the toolbox, there was some rust still on there, and I don't know if you've ever painted over the top of rust, and it was kind of bubbly and nasty looking, and I knew if I didn't stop and go ahead and grab the sander and get some of that bubbly spots off that was cracked with the primer already on it, that as soon as I put the paint on and started to use it, it was just going to look like a hot, nasty mess. And I decided, no, you just need to stop, grab your sander, get done what you need to do. Now, in this case, that I'm using my sander, I usually preach starting at a very coarse grade and then going down, or actually going up in number, and then that way everything is smooth and beautiful. But I'm using like an automotive type primer. So I'm not going to do 10 times or 5 types of different sandpaper, but I am going to go over the parts that he did the sanding wheel with the grinder, and then that way it's just pretty. It looks great when I'm done, and it lasts for a little while, because the whole thing is, when I took this toolbox from Ed, I had been looking all over town and he was helping me. We couldn't find just the perfect size toolbox for me for inside the garage, and it really does benefit him too, because if he needs like a quick screwdriver, he usually goes to my stash instead of going out to the pole barn and getting his big toolboxes. Well, I was out there one day and I noticed this toolbox, and I'll show it to you, even though it's a hot mess. And I was like, that's kind of what I need. And I made him a deal. I was like, let me have that toolbox, and if you want, you can buy a new top box. He took the deal, of course, in a heartbeat. This thing was a rusted, nasty mess. And then once he started sanding it with the grinding wheel, he's like, crap, it looks better than I thought it did. So I think he's a little disappointed that he didn't think about that on his own, because he's like, oh, that old thing. So I'll show you guys what I'm doing, and we'll kind of go from there. And hopefully you like what I'm doing. But let me go ahead and turn this around, and I'll show you what's going on and kind of go from there.